you're invited to drop by and see our brand new big showroom, now open at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Yes, it's big, it's bright, and it's full of great deals on Chevrolets, Buicks, and GMC trucks. Hey, it's truck month. Come in now and get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $5,500 total cash allowance on the 2017 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab. Come in for all the details at the all-new Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC truck, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Save up to 20% on select Husqvarna zero-turn mowers at Al Lane Kubota of Lincoln. That's right, select Husqvarna zero-turn mowers are now 20% off. Plus, ask about 0% financing for up to 42 months. There's a big selection to choose from. Save on Husqvarna, Kubota, and Toro. All at Al Lane's Kubota, 3636 East Highway 27 east of Lincoln. Online at AlLaneMotorsports.com. Alcom Storage on Dick Beam Road in Cherryville is proud to be a sponsor of local high school and American Legion sports. We salute all of our local athletes on a job well done. And if you need storage space, see Alcom Storage. You'll find all sizes right for your storage needs. All units are lighted with security cameras and monthly extermination. Be sure to check our prices. Alcom Storage, located at 235 Dick Beam Road in Cherryville. Just call 704-435-8803 for Alcom Storage today.
There's only one place to go for expert auto and truck repair in this area, All Ray Tire at 140 Main Street, Cherryville. Soon to start another location across the street at 500 Main Street. Known for North Carolina inspections, brakes, oil changes, tires, and more, All Ray is soon to offer car and truck detailing and accessories for your car or truck. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Call 704-802-4048 to schedule your next oil change or brake service. All Ray Tire, Cherryville, proud supporters of local American Legion baseball and high school.
Beam Construction Company in Cherryville is now hiring. Right now, Beam Construction Company has job openings for carpenters and masons. Just apply at their office at 601 East Main Street in Cherryville. Since 1925, Beam Construction Company has been dedicated to building the future of the Piedmont regions of North and South Carolina, from schools to churches to town halls. For more information, call 704-435-3206 or visit the website at beamconstruction.com. Beam Construction Company, dedicated to building your future. From auto to home to business to life insurance, your hometown agent is Rocky Bennett at Bennett Insurance Group. Rocky has been serving this area for over 33 years, offering you the best in coverage with Erie Insurance. No matter your claim, Rocky will work side by side with you for your best coverage. See Rocky Bennett today at Bennett Insurance Group, 116 West Main Street in Cherryville. Call 704-435-0270 for Bennett Insurance in Cherryville. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years, that's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966, and this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South of 95 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn.
We're community minded. We believe in what we do. We love this town. We live in just like you.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community minded. Just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, with 3 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, and Vail. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome out to the best in sports. Tim Johnson and Ken Link here with you on a Wednesday. We are live on the internet, Ken. We got the Atlanta Braves playing today, so there's two times a year, Ken, that we are not going to be on the radio because of the Atlanta Braves, and so we don't have a problem with that.
No, we cover the Braves on this station, and we got a lot of Braves fans, and we don't have a problem with that. We are on the internet. You can go to KTC Broadcasting and pull up the best in sports show and hear us and see us right there.
Absolutely, Ken. And First Federal there, one of our sponsors here at the radio station at WCSL and WLON. Speaking of those guys, they are the big sponsorship for the Lincoln County High School football show. We had a big meeting with Miss Dyra Aker and Demery Brewer, and Ken, they are going to be the main sponsor of our football show. It's going to be called the First Federal Lincoln County High School football show, Ken.
All right, sounds great. We were looking forward to that show. We'll be doing it'll be a 30-minute show, and it will air every Friday night.
Absolutely.
We think between 6:30 and 7 prior to the games that are played, and we're going to be talking a whole lot about the Lincoln County football with 4 teams in the county that we'll be covering. It's in the newly formed conference. It's the South Fork Athletic 2A Conference.
Absolutely, and we're excited about that, Ken, and we're excited to have First Federal part of our main sponsor for the Lincoln County High School football show, and also House of Pizza as well. Max Grill there in Cherryville. If you want some great food, you go to House of Pizza, Ken. We'll be there every Friday, too, for our pregame meal. Also, Wednesdays, you can see us at Max Grill, too, and on the best in sports like right here on Wednesdays, Ken. All right, Ken, we have some American Legion baseball news. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Randolph County, Ken.
Yes, Randolph County, who just have won the North Carolina State Tournament. They are the North Carolina State Legion champions, and they will be playing in the Southeast region, which, by the way, Tim, they were hosts to the Southeast region. They were going to be there anyway, but they didn't want to leave any doubts about whether they deserved to be there, so they just won the state tournament in a dominating fashion.
And Ken, from listening to some of the games and stuff on the radio that WCSL and WLON went out there to Calvin Hastings, and I think it was Kevin Hastings and Milton Baker and Danny Aker.
They were covering both.
Yes, they were.
The post 100 Cherryville team and the post 82 Shelby team. Both those were our representatives from Area 4 in the state tournament.
Did a sensational job.
Yeah, Cherryville as the Area 4 champion and Shelby as the runner-up. Both made it there. Unfortunately, Tim, neither team fared that well. They played 2 games and did not win. And after the first 2 days, they came home. And I think it's the first time that Area 4 has ever had 2 teams there and came away with no victory from either one of them.
I'm very surprised about that, Ken. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, Shelby started off slow this year because they didn't have a lot of players, and it was waiting on Crest High School, who went to the state championship this year in 3A baseball, waited on some of their better players, and they got there, and Ken Grayson put a team together, put them on the field, and won a lot of baseball games, Ken.
They did. They end up, Tim, they had a short roster. When I say short, I don't mean how tall the guys was. They only had 12 players on that roster. You can carry as many as 18.
Ken, that is incredible.
They only had 12, and it's amazing they did as well as they did with 12 kids on the roster.
That's why I said Grayson did a absolutely unbelievable job with those 12 kids that you're talking about.
He did.
I mean, no more. I mean, you have now, since the rules have changed in pitching, you have to have a lot of pitching, Ken.
You sure do, and I saw that in the tournament. And just let's talk a little bit about Shelby and Cherryville. Both those teams overachieved. Going into this season, everybody, all the fans, all the sports guys that follow them say, hey, the 2 teams to beat in Area 4 are Union County, who won it last year and actually finished second to Rowan in the state tournament, and the Gaston Braves, who had a lot of talent back this year. Everybody said those are the teams to beat. And as Cherryville went on a winning streak and was doing really well, folks still said, I tell you what, they're doing well, but the 2 best teams in Area 4 or Union County and the Gaston Braves. Well, when they come through the playoffs, guess what? Shelby and Cherville both kept fighting and winning and finding ways to do it. And they didn't always blow folks out, but they won ball games. And when the smoke cleared, there's only 2 teams that left in Area 4.
Well, that's a testament, Ken, to me, of coaching.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bobby Dale, Cherville Post 100 head baseball coach, did a sensational job. What a young baseball team, Ken.
Yeah.
Very young. Most of those kids will be back next year, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, too.
I'm going to give a little bit of summary of the season and how well I think they did, and also a little bit about Shelby and how well they did, and a little bit of details about
Shelby did
who they
well.
have coming back too, Tim, because guess
They're
what?
going to be tough.
They have about all theirs coming back.
Yeah.
In fact, I think 11 out of 12.
So we're looking at from Cherville to Shelby, about a 15 to 20-minute drive, Ken, in between.
Yeah.
Cherville and Shelby. It's kind of like a Duke and Carolina thing. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
So, and they're very competitive, both organizations, Post 100 and Post 82. So they have great baseball programs. A lot of history there, Ken. But without a doubt, Cherville's always been the top dog, I would think, in the Area 4 for so many years because of the dominance and stuff like that in American Legion
we'll
baseball.
Talk a little bit about some of the records and stats. Let's get back to the state tournament, Tim.
All right.
I followed most of those games. Going into the tournament, we talked about who the Area 4 representatives were. In Area 3, which is always strong, Rowan County, coming off a great season last year, most of the year everybody said they're the best team in the state. In fact, they'd only lost 1 game going into their finals or their playoffs in Area 3. Rowan County beat them 2 out of 3, and Randolph County beat Rowan 2 out of 3 and actually won the Area 3 championship.
And lost the first game of the area.
Yeah, lost the first one and did beat Rowan two straight to win it.
So they got hot.
They got hot. In fact, how hot was it, Tim? I just saw a stat. They started out sort of slow.
Wow.
But once they've gone through the tournament, they've won 28.
Lights out.
28 out of their last 30 games. They're 28-2 over the last 30 games.
That's unbelievable.
They're
Ken.
playing well.
Yes, they are. And like you said, and they won the state championship this past weekend. And the closest game they had, Ken, was who?
It was against Shelby in the opening round, day 1. They beat Shelby 9-5. And, Tim, that was the closest game they had. They won by an average margin of
it was over after that.
8 runs per game.
It was over.
They averaged 13 runs a game. I mean, they dominated, and they won it. The final game was against Wilmington, and, folks, they destroyed Wilmington 16-2 in 7 innings.
So they won in all phases of the game.
Oh, they did.
Defense, pitching, and hitting. But the thing about it is, Ken, you made a really interesting suggestion. You said the other day that they had 8 more pitchers they could have pitched.
Yeah, in the last game, they only they got way ahead early, so they didn't have to go to a lot of guys. But the guy who's the most valuable player, they pitched him 5 innings and then brought somebody in for the last 2 innings. But they said they had 8 arms ready, and they only had to use 2. Now, if Wilmington would have beat them, they'd have had to play another game because Randolph's undefeated. So they still had pitching left when it ended.
So Wilmington and Randolph, both of them are going to the Southeast Regional. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Because Randolph is the host,
and they're going anyway, and you have to have a North Carolina team there as well as the host.
I got
and
you.
So Wilmington, as runner-up, is going to
Well,
the
congratulations
Southeast
to
Regional.
Wilmington.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And Wilmington had a good year. They started a little bit slow, and they came on strong. Mention the guy that plays for Randolph, who got the most valuable player of the tournament, and I would say he deserved it, Tim. The shortstop, Dawson Painter, had 5 home runs.
Wow.
13 RBIs, 13 runs scored, and actually was a winning pitcher in the championship game. So
Ken, that's remarkable, Ken. This young man, I mean, he laid the wood.
He laid the wood. And he
Wow.
batted like 600. I think, they didn't get him out often. And what I read was he's going to he's just graduated. He's going to UNC Pembroke to pitch. But somebody said maybe they'll reconsider him and might put a bat in that boy's hand too.
5 home runs in a weekend, Ken. 13 RBI.
Yeah.
I'd believe I'd find a place for him to hit. You know what I'm saying? And they probably will.
Speaking of home runs, Tim, there's a lot of home runs that went out of this ballpark.
There's a
The
bunch of
first
them.
2 days, 8 games, there's 19 that went out.
In 2 days.
2 days. Now, the ballpark wasn't small. It's 320 down the line, 390 in center field. However, there's a little bit of breeze blowing out the whole time, and it made a difference. You got it up in there. We talked a little bit about the Area 4 teams not doing well. Talk a little bit about Cherryville. The reason they didn't do well, Tim, they didn't hit the ball.
No, they didn't.
They struck out. They struck out 28 times in the 2 games. 12 times the first game, 16 the next game. And as Coach Reynolds wisely said, when you're carrying the lumber back to the dugout, the wind's blowing out, but 28 out of 54 outs, you didn't even hit it.
They did not even get a home run.
No, they didn't even give you the chance if you don't hit it.
Yeah, you can't win
Now,
without hitting the baseball.
They faced a good pitcher, and they come out of the gate, Tim, against they got a tough draw right out of the gate. They had to play Rowan County. Their ace, Rowan County, John Owen, the guy who started all their key games last year, even the championship game in the World Series, he was on the mound. Well, Cherryville wasn't intimidated. They jumped out the first inning, Tim, and got 4 hits and 3 runs. And I said, boy, I like this. Guess what, Tim? They didn't score any more that game, and they didn't score any more the next game until the 8th inning. They went 15 2/3 innings without scoring. And you can't win if you don't score.
No. And Cherryville's hit the ball pretty decent all year long, Ken.
Yeah.
They've hit a few more than a few home runs this year too.
They have, and I think that's the reason Coach Reynolds was so disappointed. If they would have just hit it and got up in there, they'd have got a few home runs.
They probably would have.
But you got to hit it, and they struck out so many times. Robbie Cowie pitched a great game. He outpitched the ace of Rowan County. He went. In fact, they took their ace out after 5 in a 3rd inning or something, Tim, because they wanted to keep him under 75 pitches so they could use him if they got to championship day on Tuesday. Robbie was out there pitching. He threw 115 pitches. Through 7 innings, Cherryville had a 3-2 lead. So you can't ask Cowie to do much more.
No, he did his job on the mound.
And he battled.
Yes, he did.
I mean, sometimes they got some hits and got some guys off, but he always seemed to make the tough pitch to get the guys out. So he did a great job on the mound.
They just couldn't score no runs.
They couldn't score. Now, Wade Walker didn't have a problem hitting that ball that first game. He was 3 for 4. But they only had 7 hits, Tim. They had 4 hits in the first inning and only 3 the rest of the game.
Right.
You can't win doing that.
No, you can't. You cannot.
Now, the second game, they ran up across a lefty who's going to Brunswick Community College. And, Tim, this guy had some good breaking stuff. Didn't throw extremely hard, maybe 85, 86 when he threw his fastball. But he struck out 14 Cherryville batters in 7 innings.
Wow.
They couldn't hit him. And they got behind early, and they tried to score late in the 8th and 9th inning. Put 3 on the board, but it's just too big a hill to climb. They lost 7-3. Matt Bumgardner had a good tournament. He was 4 for 9 at the plate. Never struck out once, which is, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Yeah,
but he hit the ball, and he hit it hard a couple times when they got him out. Flew out deep to right center one time with the center fielder making a great catch near the fence. So he hit the ball well. Robbie Cowie in 9 plate appearances had 2 hits and 2 walks. So he did well. But, Tim, that's pretty much the highlights for Cherryville.
Yeah, Cherryville had a good year, Ken. Like we saw earlier before we went on air, had a great year. But they've got a lot of young players, and they're going to be coming back next year. They're losing, Matt, Will Angel,
and Dalton Brooks.
And Dalton Brooks. That's the only 3 they're losing. So they pretty much got their pitching staff, got their defensive lineup, and, they should be able to hit the ball even better because these kids are going to get bigger and stronger. And a lot of these kids are going to go to college and play baseball. So they're going to have some experience, Ken, coming in.
Yes, they will. And I've heard rumors there's 2 or 3 other guys that are rising seniors this year that say they're going to play. So we'll see.
Right. All right, Ken Link, Tim Johnson, the best in sports. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be back after these messages from our fine sponsors here at WCSL, KTC Broadcasting, the best in sports.
Hello, my name is Kevin Bennett, Minister of Students and Outreach at First Baptist Church Cherryville, and John 3:17 tells us that God sent His Son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world through Him. And we'd like to invite you to come join us each Sunday morning at 11 o'clock to celebrate the marvelous grace of God. Our motto is accomplishing all things through Christ, and we'd like for you to come and share in that. Again, my name is Kevin Bennett, Minister of Students and Outreach at Cherryville First Baptist Church. Look forward to seeing you there.
Get to the Polaris Spring Sales event and hit the off-road with more money in your pocket. Financing is as low as 2.99% APR, and rebates go up to $2,000 on industry-leading razors, the best-selling Sportsman ATVs, and the undisputed king of the utility, the Polaris Ranger. See Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell off I-85. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
GFHS Cherryville Adult and Pediatric Medicine is conveniently located right here in Cherryville, providing health care for the whole family. Let GFHS Cherryville be your family's medical home. Pediatric services include sick and well child visits, ADHD management, nutrition counseling, immunizations, and more. That's right, they also offer free sports and school physicals, accepting Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and self-pay patients. Call for appointments 704-435-7954. GFHS Cherryville Adult and Pediatric Medicine, 112 South Oak Street, Cherryville, 704-435-7954. Like them on Facebook too.
It's like going on vacation without leaving town. At the Glen Oaks Golf Club in Maiden, sure there's golf, but there's a whole lot more, like their swimming pool, driving range, picnic shelter, and their new clubhouse, featuring a snack bar and a big banquet room. Great for weddings, receptions, class and family reunions. So for a fun day of golf and much, much more, see Glen Oaks Golf Course. Call 828-428-2451. 828-428-2451. Online at glenoaksgolf.com.
We're back here on the Best in Sports. Tim Johnson and Ken Link. Kenny, I want to say something, Ken. I want to thank you for all the information for the American Legion this year. A lot of our listeners out there don't realize what how important it is to get the information from American Legion throughout our area, Ken, and you've done a superior job, and that's why I call you Mr. Baseball, Ken Link.
Well, I enjoy doing it. It's I'd probably be doing it anyway because I just enjoy Legion baseball. I enjoy following it and keeping up with it.
Well, you do a heck of a job. I want you to know that, and we really appreciate what you do here at WCSL at KTC Broadcasting as well. Ken, you got some information you want to share with us about the 2017, the review of Cherryville Post 100.
Yeah, I want to just review the season. I've already mentioned that coming into the season, expectations were not that high, Tim. They had last year, Cherryville had the worst season in a long time. Their first losing season since 1996. And that's a shock because everybody's used to Cherryville winning.
Absolutely.
So it was disappointing. Okay. Well, we said that we got some guys coming back. Okay. So they'll be more mature and stronger and we'll be better. Well, come to find out, 15's supposed to come back. 6 didn't come back. 5 by choice, 1 because of injury. And so they had less talent coming back. And so I was saying, wow, I don't know how they're going to do this year. And I tell you, Coach Reynolds, right out of the gate, said, listen, we'll play with the players we got that want to play for Post 100.
Right.
And he molded that team together. They had great chemistry.
He does that every year.
And they lost their first game of the season, and they started winning, and they kept winning a little bit, and they started getting a little bit of confidence. Next thing you know, they had a winning streak, and they won 14 straight games before they lost again. That's amazing. And he was playing a lot of players.
Yep.
And people were stepping up. Different players were making key plays. Matt Bumgarner become a leader by example on the field with everything he was doing from his hitting, pitching, defense. And next thing you know, they were rolling. And so still folks didn't think they had the best team because Union County and Gaston Braves. But as we mentioned before, they got to the playoffs. They went through the playoffs, and they were there at the end there in Shelby, and they beat Shelby in the Area 4 playoff game or one game for the championship. And they played with confidence and poise in that game and won that game by a pretty good margin and went off to the state tournament. Now, what they accomplished, Tim, their overall record this year was 31-8. This is the 12th time Cherville has won 30 or more games in a season. So that's something they should be proud of.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment right there. I mean, that's incredible, Ken. I mean, just to think of the talent in the Area 4.
Absolutely.
For them to win that many games that many times in a row. Yeah. So, to me, that's a great accomplishment, not only on the coaching staff, if Coach Reynolds and staff, but for the kids. And one thing, too, Ken, before I let you continue to finish here, Ken, about the review of Cherville Post 100, Bobby Dale's famous line, and I've heard him say this a million times, he said, make your own history. And see, the thing about this, Ken, the history of Cherville is unbelievable. State championships, runner-ups in American Legion World Series. Make your own history. It's time for you to do that. And Cherville did that this year. By going back to the state tournament, they did that.
They did, because it had been 4 years, Tim, of absence since they'd been there.
Right.
And so this team made
it's been a while.
That's something to be proud of.
Yes.
But, I mean, they accomplished that. Nobody expected them to accomplish that.
No.
I mean, I didn't. I'll be honest. I'm no bigger Post 100 fan than me.
That's right.
I didn't expect it. Right. I did not expect it to happen, but it did. They won the Area 4 West Division with a 15-1 record. That's their 21st Area 4 division title, more than any other team. The Area 4 championship was more than any other team in Area 4. They're 17th. State tournament, this was Cherville's 10th appearance in the state tournament since it began in year 2000. Only Wilmington with 11 appearances and Rowan County with 10 match what they've done. I want to mention about one player, Tim. This was a good team. They picked each other up. They had good chemistry, and they were good teammates. But one guy shone all year, and that was Matt Bumgardner. He had an outstanding final season, and he should be the favorite to win the Area 4.
I would most definitely think so.
Year,
yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about what he did. He led the Area 4 in home runs with 6, RBIs with 48, saves with 5, and was top 2 in batting average, finished the year with 426 batting average, led his team in almost every offensive category, batting average, hits, extra base hits, on base percentage, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, and on the mound had a 1.32 ERA to go along with those 5 saves and a 3-0 record.
There's nobody in the Area 4 that's got better stats than he does, Ken.
No,
so I would think Matt's going to be the player of the year in Area 4. I would most certainly think
very
that.
Deserving.
Yes,
and
yes,
now
absolutely.
it won't be announced. It's usually not announced to maybe a month or so or a month or 2 down the road, but I'll be looking for his name to be announced when it happens.
Sure, and I know Jeff Bumgarner and Melanie, his parents are absolutely just thrilled to and I know Jill's a big Post 100 fan. He has been for years, and I know Melanie is really proud of Matt, what Matt has accomplished. Ken, it's funny, Ken. He didn't hit, and here's the strange thing. Matt never hit that much at all in college. I mean, didn't hit at all. He just
they
used
didn't
him
let
for
him
pitching.
Hit. They just let him pitch. They didn't let him hit at all.
And so, and he'll come out and have those kind of stats, Ken. I'm like you about that kid from that shortstop from Randolph. I believe I put a bat in Matt's hand.
Put a bat in that hand and see what he could do. Because, I mean, he did well this year.
He did.
He played well in center field, and obviously as a closer he came in and did a great job on the mound as well. And I can say he led that team by example all year. Another kid I want to mention, because Matt's been 3 years in the program playing for Post 100. Will Angel also has been there 3 years. Now, Will wasn't in the starting lineup every day. He pitched. He's a sidearm pitcher, but Coach Reynolds said he had a great attitude. He was always in there pumping up the team, and I just want to thank Matt Bumgardner and Will Angel for their leadership and their commitment over the last 3 years of playing for Post 100.
Yeah, and like you said, Will's a sensational young man. He went to Burns High School, and he's going up there to college to play baseball and pitch. Is he going the same place Matt's going?
Yeah, he went to
Montree. Yeah, Montree, okay.
Both those kids went to Montree last year.
And Will's a sidearm pitcher, too.
He is.
And pitched well.
He pitched well this year.
Yes, he did.
And it got in the playoffs. Coach Reynolds seemed to use him more in key situations, and he did well.
So congratulations to Matt Bumgarner and Will Angel. And like I said, I've known Matt pretty much for his whole entire life. His dad and I have been real good friends. So I'm extremely proud of Matt, too. So, and I know you are, too, Ken. You've got to know Matt in the last few years really well, too. So great young man. Congratulations to Matt Bumgarner and to Will Angel of Cherville Post 100 American Legion baseball players.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Ken.
Well, there's another tournament, Tim, going on at the same time right down the road here a little bit south.
Yeah, and
South Carolina State Region Tournament.
And Florence was supposed to be in the best of the best.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, the state tournament for South Carolina. Florence went into that tournament with a 33-1 record, a big favorite to win it. But there's another team in there that only lost one game, and that was Rock Hill, who was 17-1. Now, they hadn't played nearly as many games but guess what? Both those teams won the first two games and met in the winner's bracket, and Rock Hill beat Florence in that winner's bracket game.
Wow.
6-0. Now, Tim, in that game, I saw where Florence only allowed 3 hits, but they committed 8 errors in the field.
Wow.
And I think walked 6. And so that's how Rock Hill scored the runs.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes when you play good teams.
So they went to the final, and that state tournament started a day after the North Carolina State tournament. So North Carolina finished up yesterday. These guys are finishing up today, and Rock Hill and Florence met in the championship game. Tim, as I came into the studio here, the update on the game was Florence was leading 4-0 in the 8th inning. So it's likely that maybe Florence has won that South Carolina State championship by now. They were one of the favorite teams going in, and I'm telling you, with Florence, if they're there in Randolph County, I got news for the rest of the teams in Southeast region. I think
it don't look good.
I think it's going to be a North Carolina or South Carolina team again, like it has been 8 out of the last 9 years.
Well, you know who we pulling for each Ken.
Absolutely.
We're pulling for Randolph, North Carolina. And then if not South Carolina, we're going to go for them too.
Absolutely. And I expect to see one in Shelby in the World Series. I really do, one of those teams.
Ken, we got some Major League Baseball coming up after these commercials here on KTC Broadcasting, the best in sports. Mr. Baseball himself, Kenny Link, and Tim Johnson, every Wednesday from 4 to 5.
Before you head to the great outdoors, head first to the Great Outdoors in Cherryville. They have all your hunting and fishing needs with friendly advice too. And now they have a new gunsmith on board. And the Great Outdoors carries sports equipment, including baseball bats and gloves. And they do customized screen printing for your t-shirts or team uniforms. And they are now a repair center for trolling motors. Yep, they do it all at the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. The new full line of Sealy and Tempur-Pedic bedding is now at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Queen size sets start at $399. You'll find Motion Foundation queen size sets with head and foot raise up starting at $500. And that's not all. Get closeout prices on display models of Sealy bedding. A good night's sleep starts at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 Saturday. Online at HendrickAppliance.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus you have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 south of 95 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn.
Okay, here we go. Ken Link and Tim Johnson back on the air on Best in Sports on this Wednesday afternoon. Tim, we've been talking a lot of baseball. We just heard a commercial about the Campers Inn.
Yeah.
They have 16 locations around the South and one in Kings Mountain. And I understand you talked to a couple fellows down there because you were in the maybe in the need for looking for a camper maybe to buy. And Michael Irvin, the general sales manager down there in Kings Mountain, and a couple other folks you talked to.
Yeah, Jonathan Humphreys and Curtis. And I tell you, Ken, now Michael Irvin, that's not the Michael Irvin of Dallas Cowboys. I want you to know that, Ken.
I would not.
I know you was getting your hopes up.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, great. He's the GM there at Campers Inn down at Kings Mountain. My wife and I are thinking about buying a camper. We're going to buy one if I can get her to get another job. But anyway, we're going to get us a camper, and so we decided to go down and just look. So went down there and talked to these guys. These guys are super nice. If you want to buy a camper, there at Campers Inn. I'm telling you, they're not going to put any pressure on you to buy because these people are already selling. I mean, they're putting the campers out the door. But great location, Kings Mountain right there at Highway Interstate 85 and 161. Great people. Go see them. Tell them Tim and Ken are the best in sports since you're down there. Also, Ken, want to send a shout-out to my good friend Mike and Kathy Stamey. Kathy's been having a little bit of eye problems, Ken. She's going to have some eye surgery. Mike and Kathy are avid listeners to our show. They're like family to me, and I know you know Mike and Kathy. But anyway, they listen in. And also John Barkley, and there's a gentleman by the name of Don Malden, Ken. He is, we call him Big Daddy. He is a retired city police officer at Lincoln City Police Department. He works at ABC store now. Good friend of mine. They listen into the show. John Barkley, who got me started in the DJ business, Ken. John used to work here at the radio station. Used to be Piedmont Superstations years ago. So John will be uptown tomorrow night with the Fantastic Shakers. Me and my wife's going to go up there, and we're going to watch Bo Schrontz and the boys do their thing.
I hear you.
All right, Kenny, we got some Major League Baseball news here. You got the Astros, who lead the Mariners by 17. You have the Cleveland Indians, my Cleveland Indians, leading the Royals, by 1.5 game, Ken. You got the Red Sox lead the Yankees by 1. And the Rays by 2.5. Dodgers lead Diamondbacks, Rockies 12.5 games back. And then you got Nationals over the Braves by 11.5 games. And Ken, like you said, there won't be many more Braves games after the season.
If you look at those things in the National League, the wild card, the Dodgers have the best record in baseball.
Sure.
But the Rockies and Diamondbacks are 12.5 games back. But Tim, they're both like 12, 13 games over 500. It looks like to me out of that West, you're going to have 2 wild card teams that may come out of the West. 'Cause
right.
I don't see anybody else in the West. The Braves are under 500. The Brewers and Cubs, they just barely over 500. So one team's going to win that division, the other's going to get left out. So then the wild card, there's not much competition there. Now, in the American League, that's a different story. It's wide open.
It is wide open.
With the races.
A lot of tight races, Ken. A lot of tight races. And that's good for baseball.
Sure is.
It makes it exciting toward the end of the season, Ken. So
it does. Let's talk a little bit about some interesting things that have been happening in Major League Baseball with the trade deadline coming up on us. That's July the 31st. Teams are having to decide, are we buyers or sellers? Do we think we can make it into playoffs as a wild card? Or are we going to give up on the season and therefore make some trades, maybe get some prospects in? And the guys that think they can make it to the end of the season and be in the playoffs and do well, they're looking to strengthen their team. So there's a lot of willing and dealing and people.
It could be offensively or it could be pitching or defensively. Yeah.
Now, here's some trades. There's several good trades that's already happened, and a lot more that's probably going to happen. But here's some pretty noteworthy ones that's already happened. The Cubs obtained last week, right out of the gate, first big trade, Jose Quintana from the White Sox, and he's pitching great, Tim. He's already won.
He's going to help them.
He's already won 2 games for him. The Nationals, who I've been saying all along had to upgrade their bullpen, did. They got 2 guys from Oakland, Doolittle and Madsen, both who are good relievers, so they have helped themselves. But I understand they're not done. They're still looking for more help in that bullpen.
Right.
And maybe even starting pitching, because I saw Strasburg went down, and he's got some injury problems now, so they're a little concerned about that.
I tell you, Ken, I see where the Brewers lead the Cubs by a half a game. The Cubs going to come back and win that division. I'm going to tell you why.
I think they will.
I like they're young, and I like their hitting. They're going to put some runs on the board. And like you said, they're pitching. Since they got that Jose Quintana, I think he's going to make a difference. He's going to help them get where they need to be at.
That's a huge trade for them.
Oh, absolutely.
And Arizona D-backs, who are chasing the Dodgers, and I talked about they may be a wild card team anyway. They made a trade to get another right-handed bat. They need another right. They traded for J.T. Martinez from Detroit, who's a 300 hitter and a power hitter. A real good trade there that he can help them. The Yankees made a trade with the White Sox. They got Todd Frazier, who got some power and could help them a little bit.
Plays
on the
third
field.
base.
Third base mostly.
First baseman, yeah.
But the 2 relief pitchers they got, David Robinson and Tommy Cannell, they really strengthened their bullpen. Now, Tim, they already had a strong bullpen. They got Chapman and Betanzas in that bullpen.
They made it even better.
I mean, Yankees, get us through five innings, and folks, we're going to throw the bullpen at you. And they have really strengthened their bullpen.
Well, I
That's a
tell you,
good trade for
Ken,
them.
I tell you, if they can do that, you know, they're going to save the arms of their starting pitchers
Sure,
when they
absolutely.
get to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
When you get to the playoffs, those starting pitchers won't have sore arms. The arms won't be tired. They can pitch longer. So, therefore, I mean, if you can keep your starting pitcher in 7 to 8 innings, I mean, that's a win right there, Ken.
Yeah. And they're still looking. I mean, one guy name that keeps coming up, Verlander.
Yes.
A lot of people love to have him.
I love to see the Yankees get Verlander.
Another guy, Sonny Gray.
Yeah, he's good too.
From Oakland. That's another name that some of these contenders really would like to pull
Yes.
in. So there are a lot of teams willing and dealing and discussing.
Verlander might be on the market. I'm telling you.
Well,
he
yeah,
might. If the
sure.
price is right,
If
I'm
the
telling
price
you.
is right. And
Yeah.
like you said, there's a lot of good prospects in some of these clubs have in the minors. And if the price is right, they'll pull the trigger on it. Couple of injuries of note. Carlos Correa, Houston's great shortstop who's having a great year. Young guy, just really an outstanding ball player.
That's going to hurt them
Tore his
for a little bit.
Tore his ligaments in his thumb, Tim, and he did it swinging at a pitch.
Wow, what did he do?
I
Get
don't
hit?
know. No, he didn't get hit. When he swung at a pitch, somehow he pulled his thumb and he did it swinging at a pitch.
Strained his thumb and he tore his
Yeah,
ligaments.
tore
How
his
about
ligament.
that? Wow.
And Clayton Kershaw Sunday was pitching to him in the second inning. He threw a pitch, and all of a sudden
I
you
heard.
seen him
Yeah.
wince, and he come off the mound. He is
That's going to
hurt
affect.
that. He's,
I'm
you
telling
know,
you.
he's had back trouble, and now they don't know how bad
For
it
a
is.
pitcher, you can't have any kind of back trouble.
He
Ken.
said it's probably 6 to 8 weeks, and they're not done looking at it. It could be worse.
Yeah, that's not good, Ken.
So the
For
Dodgers,
the Dodgers,
may
yeah.
be looking to get a pitcher in too, like Verlander or Sonny Gray.
And so the Dodgers lead the Diamond. Is that Diamondbacks and Rockies both 12.5
Yes.
games?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're okay. They're okay.
But they need to have him for the playoffs for sure.
yeah. Who else? Who's their other number 2 pitcher? Who's their number 2? Kershaw's
Well,
number 1. Who's number 2?
Well, the one who's been this year is that Alex Wood that used to be at
Okay.
the Braves, who's from actually Charlotte, and he's had a great year for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He has a great year for him, the left-hander. So they got 2 tough lefties.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's real good. Hey, Ken, I want to talk about something here. The NBA, Kyrie Irving wants to be traded. What's your thoughts on the Kyrie Irving trading?
Well, he's not happy. If you don't have a happy player, I don't know how well you're going to do as far as getting.
Is it
where they
LeBron
wanna get.
James? Is it because of LeBron
Well,
James?
yeah, it's part of
I mean,
it.
what's the? I mean, you got 2 superstars here. Both of them are great basketball players. One of them's without a doubt one of the greatest of all time. But my thing is, Ken, why would he want to go to somewhere else for? He's not going to go to a contending team because pretty much all the contending teams got point guards.
Well, the only
Or
thing
am I wrong about that?
No, the only thing I can tell you about Tim is
Why not stay in?
he wants to be the big star, I guess, and he'll never be the big star with James there. I don't know. Hey, what do
Is
you want?
Chicago to play for
Hey,
him?
what do you want me to tell you?
I'm not a basketball man. You know what I'm saying?
He went to Duke. That's all I can say. You know.
Yeah, well, hey, you know, I mean,
all kidding,
you
all-
and Kevin Hastings need to hash that out. 'cause-
All kidding aside,
Yeah.
I don't know. He said he didn't want to play with LeBron James, and
Right.
they look. I don't know whether they'll trade him or not. I mean, there's some places he could go, but
think about this,
What they got to
Ken.
get for him, you know?
Think about this. He can't go. He won't be able to go to Houston. They got a point guard.
Yeah.
Okay. Boston don't need him. Okay. I'm trying to find a place better for him to go. Chicago to me be. How about Chicago? I mean, they got a point guard. I mean, I know Rose is now with Cleveland.
Yeah.
So
Well, somebody mentioned Minnesota. I don't know where a good fit for him is. He's outstanding ball
He
player.
is.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I was kidding about him going to Duke because he is an outstanding
he is.
player. But
Well, you only went to Duke for half a year. You
yeah,
know
I
that, don't you? You got hurt.
Yeah, I know.
So.
But there's only one ball, you know, and sometimes I don't know, but sometimes maybe he'd like to have it more.
Well, I mean, I was watching ESPN. I was watching Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, and they were talking about that. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like them. Where can he go?
Yeah.
So who knows? All right, the best of sports. Ken Link, Tim Johnson. We'll be back. We got a lot more sports, Ken. A lot more.
Absolutely.
Be back after these fine messages on the best in sports. Tim Johnson and Ken Link, Mr. Baseball himself, every Wednesday from 4 to 5.
Sleep apnea is the interruption of sleep by a blockage to breathing. 8 million Americans go undiagnosed for sleep apnea. Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincoln can help you with sleep apnea problems. John III is a member of the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine. He can help you now overcome the symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea, such as excessive daytime sleep, loud snoring, episodes of breathing cessation where you stop breathing, dry mouth and sore throat, morning headaches, insomnia, attention problems, and more. John III is concerned that patients don't know there are treatments for obstructive sleep apnea, from CPAP to dental appliances or even surgery. John III offers a free consultation for anyone with symptoms of sleep apnea. Just call 704-735-0765 or come by 904 Doncha Drive in Lincoln to make an appointment. Sleep longer, smile brighter, live happier. Let Dr. John L. Cloninger III put his 21 years of dentistry experience to work for you.
Acre Enterprises in Cherryville is having a sale on metal roofing. Get ready for summer storms with a new metal roof. 12-foot wide red or green metal roofing with a 10-year warranty is now just $20 a sheet. 12-foot silver Gavalume with a 25-year warranty, just $18 a sheet. And 21-foot white or green sheets with a 10-year warranty, just $38 a sheet. Acre Enterprises will beat anyone else's price on metal roofing, guaranteed. See Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Road, Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Online at acrecarports.com.
We're back on the Best in Sports, WCSL 1590 KTC Broadcasting. You also can catch us on YouTube and podcasts. All you got to do is click on the ad that says The Best in Sports, where Tim Johnson and Ken Link is. And we are on the internet only today because of the Atlanta Braves playing today. So this is the second time and the final time, Ken, that we'll be on the internet. But we're on the internet all the time. It's just the fact that today we're on internet only. That's right.
That happens a couple times a year when the Braves are playing in the afternoon that runs into this time slot. It only happens 2 or 3 times, and that's fine.
And we are the host station of the Atlanta Braves here at WCSL and WLON. And also, Ken, you can go back and listen to some of our recent shows too. We've had Luke May on the show, Scott Davenport, a lot of people in sports that know sports. So we're real thankful to have some of those great people here to be a part of the show. And like I say, First Federal Lincoln County High School football show will be kicking off. We're thinking, Ken, around August the 18th is our first football
18th,
game.
That's the first Friday that the high school football games start, and that'll be our show. That'll be the first day that Lincoln County football show will be on the air.
And it's going to be 12 weeks, Ken, 12 straight weeks, and it's going to be a great show. And people out there who listen to our radio station, Lincoln County High School football is like it is the thing. I mean, it's big, and it's probably, I'd say, Ken, I'd put Lincoln County High School football, and you got to include Maiden High School as well, and of course Cherryville, Ironman, and then you got the Shelby market. But man, you think about that, Ken. Lincoln County High School football is probably as big as any county around here.
Yeah, and it's going to make it be even bigger this year because North Lincoln, the other schools play, but this year North Lincoln's going to be in the same conference.
Absolutely, and
that makes them rivalries even
you got
bigger.
4 Lincoln County teams,
all in the same conference, and that's cool.
And 2 new coaches, Coach Lubowitz and the other coach down at North Lincoln too.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to having those guys.
Pack.
Coach Pack. Yep. Looking forward to having those guys on the show as well. So, all right, Ken. The British Open was this past weekend, Kenny.
Yeah, and we got a new winner of it, American, not a British, not a European, but American, Jordan Spieth, a young guy who's won his 3rd major, Tim, and I understand he'll be 24 tomorrow, so he's the only player besides Jack Nicklaus who has won 3 majors under the age of 24.
And he's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's from Texas. Yeah, I wanted to throw that in there too.
I wonder why you said you liked him.
I love him, man. But no, Jordan Spieth. Congratulations, Jordan Spieth, who wins the British Open by 3 strokes. Like Ken was saying, youngest player besides Jack Nicklaus. That's incredible, Ken. And he has got a lot of golf in this young man, and he's smart, and he only seems to get better and better every time he's on the golf course.
Yeah, and he's up and coming. Is he the next Tiger Woods? Who knows?
Who knows?
Everybody, somebody comes up and coming, everybody starts comparing them. I don't know, but he certainly has accomplished something nobody else has accomplished except Jack Nicklaus, so that's a feather in his cap.
Kenny, before we get into some NFL training camp news here, let's go to some NASCAR news. You got Casey Kane. He wins the Brantley Gilbert Big Machine Brickyard 400, Ken.
Yeah, basically the big name for the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
But heck of a race that had a bunch of cautions. I think there were 3 or 4 cautions from the 10-lap mark on in. They had to go in what they call overtime mode twice.
Yep.
And they were reckoning as it was winning, and Kane with the great job on the restart and staying in front and winning that race. And I think that's the first race he's won in over 100 races. So he was tickled to win that race.
Yes. And Casey's a good race car driver too. You got Martin Truex Jr., Ken. He still leads to driver points as well as the playoff points too, Ken.
Yeah. So he's been pretty
dominant all year. Yeah.
So he's still there. And congrats to Casey Kane by winning that race. He is in the playoffs. You win a race, you're in the playoffs.
You're in the playoffs.
So he's in there.
Congratulations to Casey Kane. All right, Kenny, we have also, Ken, let's see, some Carolina Panther, some NFL news. That is the training camp. Today is the first day. I saw an interview with Luke Kuechly yesterday. He said he wanted to go down yesterday to get there early so he can get everything organized. And also he said he took McCaffrey, the number 1 draft pick for the Carolina Panthers, took him around, showed him the complex there. So, and also Kevin Hastings, Andre, and Smoke, those guys are live down at Media Day there at the Carolina Panthers, Ken.
Yeah, I imagine Kuechly told him, he was really nice to him, and he said, now, we get on the football field, when you come across that line, and
I'm
you
looking
see
for
me,
you.
I'm lighting you up, buddy.
That's it, I'm looking
I'm
for
lighting
you.
you up. But, yeah, Kevin's down there in a big media day today. The players arrived yesterday, and Tim, one of the players who did arrive yesterday and is in training camp is Greg Olson.
Yes.
And there was some question.
Leader.
He's
one of the big leaders.
He had hit him about would he hold out because he feel like he's been underpaid based on his accomplishments in one of the top 3 tight ends. And there was some discussion about that. Well, he not only showed up, he actually talked to the press and said, look, I didn't think it was right for me to hold out. It's not right for my teammates. I'm a leader of this team.
Yes.
He said it's not right for the young guys that's coming in either to see me do that. He said, I made my points. They made their business. We understand it, and I'm ready to play football. He said, I did not think it was right for me to hold out.
See, that's a leader for you, Ken. That's
a
what a leader
That's
does.
a leader.
He steps up to the plate.
Yeah, and when you told me you'd hurt him out, I said, oh, Tim, I don't believe he will. He's just not that type of guy.
Yeah, you're right. You hit
he
the nail on
wants
the
to
head.
get paid just like any player.
Hey,
but
I
he's
give
not
it to
that
you.
type of guy.
That's right. He's a Jason Witten type of football
he is,
player.
he is.
He's a leader on the field and off the field.
And he's admired for that.
Yep, and his contributions to the Carolina Panthers is very valuable. And I'm gonna tell you something. The big issue, the big topic, Ken, is not about the football. It's about Dave Gettleman.
Yeah,
he's gone.
And that was
he's gone, Ken.
That was the big news last week.
That's unbelievable.
And not only that, and everything happened so quick. First
like,
of all,
bam.
boom, he's gone out of the blue. Nobody expected on Monday.
The media knew nothing about it.
Nobody knew nothing. And then 2 days later, Marty Herney, the previous GM, is announced as an interim GM.
Well, see, him and Jerry Richardson are like really, really. He's like a son to Jerry Richardson. I'm telling you, they're really tight.
Jerry did fire him and hire Gettleman.
Absolutely,
he brought him back.
But they were good. Gettleman did good things for the Panthers.
Gettleman is an excellent evaluator of talent, and Tim, he did straighten out the salary cap.
He did.
Now, you got to take a hard line, and you got to maybe make some enemies doing it.
He's the man for that.
And he was the man for it, and he's from New York guy, and it's like no nonsense. And, hey, he did it. Now, he might not always everybody was happy, but he did a good job.
I didn't like the way he handled the Steve Smith situation, Ken. Josh Norman, I can get by that. Now, he was a good player, good player. Was he a great player? I don't know. I mean, the system that he played in with Carolina, in that cover 2 or cover 3, whatever they played,
Gettleman didn't.
He fit really well in that
didn't
system.
Value that position as much as some other positions on defense.
Before Steve Smith, Ken, I'm telling you, he's a Hall of Fame football player. He's probably going to be the first Hall of Fame football player when he does retire to go into the Hall of Fame.
For the Panthers.
The Panthers, yeah. I'd say probably Peppers would be the next one.
Yeah.
But definitely Steve Smith that whole situation was handled wrong. And I think that's what Mr. Richardson was so upset about and concerned about, because you had Thomas Davis, who's without a doubt the man of the year, the Walter Payton man of the year. Look what he's done for the contributions of the Carolina Panthers to our community, and look what he's done on the football field. Look how he's battled to get back on the football field, Ken. Yeah. How hard he's worked. Yeah. So to me, that's leadership in your locker room. You can't lose that, Ken.
No, and I'm going to tell you something about, you talk about leadership in class, both Olsen and Davis.
Both of them.
Both
Absolutely.
of them. All this stuff come out and said, well, the reason they got rid of Gettleman was because, y'all's contract. And they said, listen, that was overblown. Some of the stuff said wasn't true.
Right.
We got respect for Mr. Gettleman. He looks at it from the business side. We look at it from the player side, so we had respect. So he wasn't that.
No.
They're classy folks.
Yes, they are. They are. But still, I mean, you got, Thomas Davis, Greg Olson, who was the leaders of that locker room, and Cam Newton, great football player. I think he's got to be a little bit more of a leader, not only off the field, but also in the locker room too, Ken. And that's my complaint about Cam Newton.
Well, here's the thing. He stepped up in 2016, but then the way things ended with them losing the Super Bowl and after that, and then last year.
He just had a bad season.
I mean,
2015.
Yeah. When he won the Super Bowl. But, I mean, when they went to the Super Bowl and tried to win it.
Right.
In 2016, and he's like he lost his confidence, and he didn't act like a leader.
Right, he
Now,
did.
can he step up and be more of a leader? I don't know, but one thing
Maybe
for
he
sure,
can.
You do have two strong leaders you just mentioned on both sides of that football.
I'm going to tell you somebody else too, Ken. We're forgetting Luke Kuechly.
To
me, Luke Kuechly is the leader of that defense.
Sure he is.
He's going. You got Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, Greg Olson. I'm going to tell you somebody else who's going to be the leader of that football team before it's over. Over said and done. He's going to be like a Dak Prescott for the Cowboys. McCaffrey.
Yeah.
McCaffrey will. He has got a work ethic.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I watched him on TV last night, a little bit of the when he was running stuff like that, had the news on. This kid can fly, Ken.
He's got
if he gets an open field, he's gone.
And he's got moves. He's got skills. He's smart. He's brought up in a football family.
Oh, yeah. Great family.
He picks stuff up. It ain't like this guy can't learn what you're doing. He is smart.
He comes from a world-class family, Ken.
Yes, he does.
I mean,
his mother
athletes.
and his father.
His mom might be a better athlete than his dad.
Absolutely.
So good things are happening for the Carolina Panthers. Like I said, I think Marty Herney is going to come in. He's going to keep the ship in order, and I think he's going to make some good decisions. I think he's learned from when he got let go. And I wouldn't say necessarily a firing, Ken. I'd say more of a
time to move on.
To something different.
And he actually said in his press conference he had learned, and he's learned things. And
we're going to reach out to Marty Herney, see if we can get him on the show, Ken. Yeah, we'll reach out to him.
One thing that happened right after they hired him, the next day they announced a big contract extension for Trey Turner, their very good offensive guard, and I was glad to see that. Now that probably was in the works, but he got that done, and there's some other things that they want to get done, but that was big because that guy is good. Tim, this guy is not 24 yet. He just now turned 24 years old. They drafted him, after his sophomore year in college. Yeah. This kid has got a long.
He's a man among boys.
He's going to be. He's going to be good for a long time. I'm glad they locked him up. So they got him.
That's some great news, Ken. Great Carolina Panther news for you. All right, folks, let's talk about the football team.
Well, at least the football team is in the news all the time.
Let's talk about the football team. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about our Dallas Cowboys, as we call it. So anyway, Lucky Whitehead situation, Ken. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
You got Ezekiel Elliott, who has been accused of doing some things that he shouldn't be doing.
Off the field.
Off the field issues, bar fights, women problems and stuff like that. Whether it's in Ohio, whether it's in Dallas, wherever, at a parade. Remember the parade? He grabbed that woman. So anyway, and then you got Dez Bryant being late to practices. You got 3 or 4 other players being suspended. David Irving for drug violation of the PEDs of the NFL policy. You've got one football player who's not even on the team now that's been not let go, but just been suspended. That was a kid from Alabama. I can't think of his name, but anyway, they've got so many issues. And then you got Lucky Whitehead, who
wasn't so lucky.
Who wasn't so lucky? Yeah, But here's the thing, Ken. Lucky Whitehead, who's played for the Cowboys, I think for 4 years. He was an unrestricted free agent, so he never got drafted. But the Cowboys gave him a chance and been a decent football player for the Cowboys. He returned punts, kickoffs, and also played a little bit of scat back, I call it, on the offense, played in the slot. Well, he apparently the police said he was in Virginia doing some shoplifting up there at a convenience store. Well, Lucky said, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I had a plane ticket. I was going over here somewhere.
Never been to Virginia.
Never been to Virginia. Well, you know what? Now, here's why I can't understand. The Cowboys send somebody to investigate this situation, and he can, yeah, he's guilty. Yeah, he was there. Yeah, we got information, inside information. Yeah. Well, they cut him. They found out that morning, and also he got subpoenaed to be in court. Didn't go to court, so he failure to appear in court. Which I wouldn't have went. Think about it, Ken. Would you have went if you don't? I didn't do it. I ain't going. The heck with these people. So that's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now the Cowboys cut him. They let him go because they think he stole some property. Well, then the next day it comes out that misidentified. It wasn't Lucky Whitehead. We're sorry.
And the guy that they charged him.
Yeah.
He had information about Lucky Whitehead. He had his social security number.
He did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he gave the police Lucky's social security number.
Wow.
But the police didn't take a mug shot.
Ah.
So guess what? They don't even know who
They
this
just
guy
ran the social security number and found out it was Lucky Whitehead.
Yeah. They don't even know who this guy is or where he's at.
How did he get his information? That's
I don't
the key.
know. I don't know. But
Did he
had
steal it?
I don't
Or was
know.
he friends with him?
I don't know.
Ah.
But he had his social security number.
Wow. I mean, that's unbelievable, Ken. Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to call my daddy down there in Dallas, Texas, Jerry Jones, and say, Jerry, what in the world's going on with you? I saw him on the interview yesterday and today. Man, he was hot. Jerry was saying, hey, listen, we're going to, he bluntly said, we're not talking about Lucky Whitehead. He said, there are going to be some more Cowboys turn loose. Y'all want to talk about that?
Well, I tell you what, it was sort of, Cowboys got egg on their face.
They do.
I'm going to tell you what I heard. Now, I want it's true. You know more about the Cowboys than I do. But
it's probably true.
You were talking to me yesterday about this, okay? I heard this morning that even though they announced they was going to let him go, that officially they didn't cut him loose till 4 o'clock.
They did. That's true.
Yesterday afternoon.
So today.
So they could have backed off of that once they found out. Falling out the right information, but they didn't back off.
They could have brought him back, but they was going to cut him anyway.
I think so.
Because of your boy down in Carolina, Ryan Switzer. Yeah, there's no – listen, he's special, Ken.
Oh, he's good.
Special. I'm telling you. Yeah, they was going to let him go in, but that's just an excuse to do that. But they did it in the wrong way, Ken. They handled that situation in the wrong way. Totally,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hate that for Lucky Whitehead, but at least his name is clear.
And hopefully he'll get picked up.
He will.
And there's some teams that need a kick returner, so he'll probably get a shot somewhere.
Yeah, and he'll play somewhere.
He'll play somewhere.
But he'll play for the minimum, too.
Some other let me talk about another player, Tim. Kirk's Cousins. Now,
oh, yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Pay him that money.
He is making 24.9, almost 23.94, almost $24 million, because he's in his second year that he signed the franchise tag. The Redskins don't seem to be able to get him locked into a long-term contract. Well, he just laughing all the way through the bank. Now, he's going to play in 2017 under the franchise tag. So when 2018 comes around, Tim, what are they going to do?
Well, I tell you what, you talking about a messed up organization, the front office up there in Washington. Yeah, that's a messed up situation right there. Yeah, this guy's produced, Ken. Kirk Cousins has produced on the field, and he's a leader too. So I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but apparently, Ken, they think he's going to just fall down. Just fall on his face and not produce.
Well, I got news. If he produces this year, what they going to do next year? They're going to give him a third franchise tag for $34 million.
I think Cousins wants to be traded.
Oh, he does. He does. But
he wants out of Washington.
And if Washington's smart, they would trade him because, Tim, they're going to lose him and not get anything out of him.
Yeah, I was going to say they could get something for him. They could probably get some draft picks.
Are you kidding me? Half the NFL
he's a first or second round.
Half of the NFL
easily.
Teams need upgrades at quarterbacks.
Yeah. Ken, I'm kind of concerned about the coach. Well, I mean, why is the coach not going to bat for him?
I don't know.
Now that's a strange situation.
There's a lot of politics being played both ways there, and I don't know.
Well, they fired the GM.
Yeah,
the GM was fired.
Yeah.
So I mean, my thing is, why don't the coach say, "Hey, we got to keep this kid. This kid's producing." What are y'all thinking?
Well, Cousins just collecting the paychecks, Tim.
Well, you know what? I hope they pay him big time. I really do.
Well,
yeah, because he deserves it. He's a good football player. All right, Kenny, that's going to do it for the Best in Sports.
Another afternoon here on Wednesday talking sports. We'll be back next Wednesday and we'll be on the radio and on the internet, and we'll be talking a lot more sports. Football season right around the corner. We're going to be talking a lot of football, and also still talk some Legion baseball.
Yes, and want to say thanks to First Federal. The First Federal Lincoln County High School football show starts August 18th. Tim Johnson, Ken Link.